So the last time that we spoke, it was a nice warm evening for the opening of Billy Elliot.
It was, yeah.
In Chicago, and I think we spoke a little bit when you were at Wrigley Field, also with Billy Joel.
Yep.
And, everyone wonders if you had a good time in Chicago, if it was a good experience.
I always have a great time in Chicago. I mean, it's one of my favorite cities. I remember playing years ago at the Auditorium Theatre very fondly. It's always been one of my best venues to go to as a city. I got sober there, so I have a special place in my heart for it. So, and I have friends there, and my sponsor lives in Chicago, who still my sponsor 20 years on. So, I love Chicago. What's not to like about Chicago?
That's
apart
true.
from it's a little cold, right?
It is a little crazy cold this time.
But apart from that, it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, I think. So.
Yeah, I wish Billy Elliot had lasted a little bit longer there. I was
it was
a huge fan of it, but it was a good run.
It was a good run. I just think we were in too big a theatre, to be honest with you. We had a good run, and we're moving it now to Toronto, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it was fantastic while I was there. I saw it 5 times, honestly, while I was there. It really spoke to me in so many ways. So what does an executive producer do exactly? Just sit and write checks for people, or
I
want that gnome, I want that gnome. What do you do exactly?
Basically, we have a team of producers. In this case, my partner David Furnish, Steve Hamilton-Shaw, and Baker Bloodworth, 3 producers. As executive producers, I have to rally around when things aren't going well, and this film has been on in the making for 11 years. Really? There have been times when it's been in danger of being defunct because it started off in the Disney process, and there were so many different people coming into animation who liked it and didn't like it, and it was greenlit, and then it nearly wasn't greenlit. So when crunch time comes, I'm the one who has to support my production team and phone either Michael Eisner or Bob Iger or Dick Cook and say, come on, let's rally around here. We've got a good thing going, and a lot of people, Michael Eisner didn't really get gnomes. Dick Cook was the one that said, this is a great film. You go away and make it on your own, because Disney don't seem to be able to make it properly. We're Americanizing it. You take it away and go to Toronto or somewhere else and make it on your own and make it the film that you want to do, which was very magnanimous of him. And so I'm really the head guy. When things go wrong, I have to step in and say, listen, it's called the Elton effect. I ring up the head of the studio and say, come on here. We're really trying to make something good.
Right.
You're getting in the way. Let's have a meeting. So I've really protected my own producers.
Yeah. Do you like or dread that role? Because I know creative types normally like to stay away from that side of the business.
I don't like it particularly. I'd be truthful, but I mean, I have to do it.
You have to do it.
Yeah. And also, if you have a relationship with the studio, which I have with Disney, which goes back to The Lion King in 1993, then I have to do that. And I've had a great relationship with Michael Eisner, and I had a great relationship with Dick Cook, and I'm forming a relationship with Rich Ross. So it's you have to do that. We're in business together. You have to. We don't want to be enemies. We want to be friends. So on the whole, it's not the heads of the studio particularly. Sometimes it's the animation, the ins and outs, and people didn't get what we were trying to do with it. But really, I'm the sort of the sword rattler saying, "Come on, you got to we've all got to get together on this one."
How is doing the music for this different than doing the music for Lion King or some of the other projects that you've done? Because the others were almost traditional musicals, which the characters sang your songs.
Well, this was going to be the same way. We wrote 4 songs for it initially, and probably we're going to write more. And then Dick Cook said, you know what? I think it would be a great idea to have the classic Elton John catalogue in it, which we hadn't ever thought of doing. And he said, I really want that. So I respected his decision. I'd never used my back catalogue en masse in a film before. So we decided to go that route. And then 2 of the songs that we'd written for the film got, when you write songs for a film or a musical, you have to be aware that some of them might bite the dust because things change, things get too long, and you have to leave your ego at the door and accept that. So we ended up with 2 new songs and a lot of back catalogue. And lucky enough, the back catalogue was arranged by James Newton Howard, who used to be in my band and is now one of the top arrangers for movies in Hollywood. And I phoned James and said, listen, would you do this? You know my catalogue. You see the film and you see what you can use from my back catalogue, and don't over-egg the pudding because I don't want it to be, Elton John, Elton John, Elton John. And I think he got the balance right. But it wasn't like, per se, writing something like The Lion King or The Road to El Dorado, which, in fact, I did a whole album of stuff for Road to El Dorado. But initially, that's what it was going to be.
Have you ever been in the same room with Bernie Taupin writing a song?
Never. or Tim
all
Rice.
of these years, all of these songs.
No.
Two
Or Tim
completely
Rice or Lee Horvath.
Really?
No.
It's-
I like the excitement of getting the written page, looking at it as if you're reading a book, a Charles Dickens book or whatever, and seeing visually what inspires you, and then sitting down and thinking, well, is it fast, slow, well, and just trying to create something beautiful to the lyrics that I'm given. And I love that excitement. I love the excitement of calling the lyricist in and saying, what do you think of this? And it's never, I haven't lost the excitement ever since Bernie and I started writing songs that way. I'm not a good lyricist. I mean, you have to accept in life what you're good at and what you're not good at. And I don't really want to do something I'm not good at and be mediocre when I can just concentrate on what I am good at, which is writing melodies. And I enjoy the collaboration aspect of it very much.
You know, I didn't realize until last night when I saw this film and people were talking about gnome culture.
Right.
That we came out of this movie and people started talking about they collect gnomes and gnome this and gnome that.
Yeah.
And while at once it frightened me that people were so into it. It's so fascinating, though.
Well, it's
become
I mean, I grew up with garden gnomes, and garden gnomes have been something that's been going on in Britain and Europe for a long, long time. And it only began to spread in the United States with things like Travelocity ads, and people now are becoming aware of gnomes. They're really kitsch, vulgar little creatures, but they're quite lovable. And what appealed to us about this story was the high art of Shakespeare with the low culture of the gnomes. and mixing the two gave us something that we thought we could have fun with. And that's why we were... I mean, and, you know, the gnomes are little lovable things, but they are kitsch. And people collect them, but they don't admit... It's like people who said, oh, we never listened to the Carpenters, and they used to go home and play the Carpenters.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
you collect anything? I mean, do you have any collection like that? I mean, I guess we would think of your glasses as being
I collect photographs and contemporary art. The one thing that is really odd about me is that I connect napkin rings.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
We have about 500 sets of napkin rings for 16 settings. So don't ask me why, but I just love a napkin ring. I've never seen a napkin ring I didn't like.
That's good to know for the next time that I see you. I'll make it 517. So the number one thing that people are asking on my Facebook when they knew that I was going to come and talk to you today is about the new baby.
Right.
And there are a variety of questions, really 50 questions that I could ask you. But how is it for you so far?
It's been the most relaxing thing that's ever happened to me and David. It's the most joyous thing, obviously, when you have a child. He's just a blank canvas at the moment, and he's just, you hold him in your arms, and he just wants to be fed and to be changed and to be bathed and to be winded. And those are the four things that, they seem to be the repetition in his life. But to me, it's even better than I thought it would be. It's the most loving thing that you could possibly do. And it's been absolutely tremendous. I can't tell you. It's 4 weeks today. It's his birthday. So he's a month old today. And it's been a wonderful experience so far.
I hope you know how happy we are for you and David.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
That's so sweet. Thank you for asking.
I love that people are sending your way on this. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.